What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And since releasing the confirmed price of the latest Samsung Z Fold Special Edition, the comments have been spicy. Yes, I have my thoughts and opinions on the specs, price, and other such things about the Z Fold Special Edition. So I just wanted to lay out all my thoughts here, taking both arguments into consideration. But there's definitely some people missing the point here. Let's go. So first things first, let's just talk about the specs of the device. It's ultimately a larger Z Fold 6. It's the same battery, it's the same chip, it's the same overall look and design. However, the biggest differences are it's going to be thinner, lighter, yet have bigger outer and inner screens. So the 6.3 inch 20 by 9 aspect ratio found on the Z Fold 6 is changing to a 6.5 inch 21 by 9 outer on the Z Fold Special Edition. Hurrah! And the inside screen turns into 8 inches as opposed to the 7.6 inches diagonal of the Z Fold 6. So that's your biggest differences, the screen size and the fact that Samsung have now finally broken into the 10mm thickness when folded category like about 8 other foldable phones. And 233 grams in weight is great considering they've actually made the phone bigger. Now obviously, the fact that they've kept the same battery with bigger screens is disappointing. The fact that they've not put the Elite Snapdragon chip, which has just been released, is disappointing. But overwhelmingly, the most disappointing thing is that this phone will not be released globally. It will not come to Europe or the US. Unfortunately, it will be limited to South Korea and China. And that is where the issues start in terms of price. So as you all know, I sell the special edition on the Average Dad Tech Store. I'm just putting it out there. It is available. If you order before Saturday evening, it will ship on Monday. Yes, it will ship on Monday. However, the price, I have to agree, is so goddamn high for a Samsung Z Fold Plus, I want to call it. The price is £2,599, which converts to about €3,200 or $3,400. Now, for context, if you were to live in South Korea and get a pre-order, it would still cost you about £1,900 or $2,500. So I know that you're paying a premium, but that's what importing phones is when it comes to these devices. But I completely understand that it's a lot of money. It absolutely is. It's not quite Huawei Mate X-T territory, which is £5,000 to import, maybe a bit less now on my site. But £2,500 for an oversized Z Fold is steep. However, I am now going to discuss about my opinions and thoughts on this Z Fold Special Edition. I have said in every single Z Fold review I've ever made, all I want Samsung to do, the main thing I want them to do, improve the camera system and make that outer screen bloody bigger. Because everything else, particularly the software, is absolutely nailed on. And this special edition has done that. Granted, it's only the main camera, the 200 megapixel ported over from the S24 Ultra, that has come to this. They've kept the same ultra-wide and telephoto. But those photos are fine. Certainly not an X Fold 3 Pro, but let's be honest, the photos are passable. And they've made the screen bigger. I can now use the outer screen like a normal candy bar style phone, which we've never been able to do on a Z Fold device. So would I personally have paid a premium for that? Absolutely. A few other people are kind of forgetting here as well. The Samsung Z Fold 6 in the UK for a 0.5 terabyte of storage is £1,900. So is it worth an extra $600 for the bigger screens and the 200 megapixel camera? For me it is. because it's the same software experience. It's a global ROM on this device. That's my personal opinion. Now, on the other side, you have people, and I don't disagree, saying, why would I pay extra money for just a tiny bit better screen and a tiny bit better camera? I agree. But isn't that what tech is? Year on year, we pay more money for the newest device, which has slightly better specs. So Samsung aren't doing anything wrong here. And also keep in mind, this isn't released globally. This is the import price. So it's unfair, and I don't normally support Samsung here, but it's unfair to bash them on a price based on having to order from South Korea, ship to suppliers in China, then ship on to you. That's not Samsung's fault. They weren't intending you to buy this device. Now, another thing I want to touch on, I've had, I want to say, I don't know, multiple, dozens and dozens of comments from people saying, no thanks, I'll wait for the Z Fold 7. Or, this is just a beta version of the Z Fold 7, can't wait for this to come out next year. Samsung Knights, people watching this video, I sincerely hope you are correct. I truly do. If they could make a Z Fold 7 like this, we're all winning. But what gives you the opinion, an educated opinion, that this is what the Z Fold 7 is going to be like? What in the past 6 iterations of the Z Fold shows you that actually the Z Fold 7 will just be the same as the Z Fold 6, but it might have that 200 megapixel camera? That would actually be my opinions on the next one, or that's my guess for the next one. This Z Fold Special Edition is not the Z Fold 7, folks. I hope it is, but I can almost guarantee it's not going to look like this. So for those that are commenting saying, I'll just wait for the Z Fold 7, that's great, but you're just going to be buying a Z Fold 6 or Z Fold 5 or Z Fold 4 or Z Fold 3, in my honest opinion. That's not official. This is just me giving my guesses. But going by Samsung's track record, that's what they're going to do. Samsung don't give us what we want. Had a few other people comment saying, why didn't they just make the telephoto lens better like the X Fold 3 Pro? Why couldn't they release it globally? Why couldn't they keep the price at £2,000, etc., etc.? The same could be said for every large phone manufacturer like Apple and Google. Why don't they just make the perfect phone right now? Well, that's very simple. If they put all those specs and features in the phone right now, nobody's going to want to upgrade next year. They need to leave stuff behind. And I'm not saying that's right. I think it's completely wrong. But that's how tech's been for 20 years. That's how Apple have done it since their inception, and Samsung as well. So we can't expect any different. Now, to clarify, I am not saying that if you own a Z Fold device now, you should go ahead and buy the Z Fold SE. I am just saying if you're a tech head, then it's something to consider. Maybe see how much you can get for your Z Fold 6 and put that towards the SE, or wait for the Z Fold 7. The beauty of tech is it's all up to you. We all have our own opinions. We also all have our own budgets. So for the people slamming people that are ordering this device, such as myself, I have paid, MKBHD here, I've paid my own money to get the device. But I've bought this device, I will use this device, I will review it. And I'm excited about it. And for all the other people that have ordered this device, don't slam them for it. I could argue that you're the fool if you've bought the Z Fold 6 instead of your Z Fold 5. Or you've bought a Z Fold 5 instead of the Z Fold 4. We're all in the same boat here. So just take a step back and look at things as a bigger picture. Samsung are listening to what we've been asking for, finally. That's the way I look at it. Price aside, we're getting a Z Fold with a bigger screen. And that's ultimately been our biggest gripe for a lot of people. Some people like that narrow display, and that's also fine too. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense, But in no means am I saying what I'm saying is 100% accurate or factual, because it's an opinion. When I talk about the Z Fold 7 not looking like the Z Fold Special Edition, that's just my guesses based on Samsung's track record. If we get leaks that the Z Fold 7 is going to be the same dimensions as a Special Edition, I'll be the first one to sit around in a circle and play Soggy Biscuit with you. If you don't know what Soggy Biscuit is, don't Google it. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little hot take or update video, whatever you want to call this. I'll be back later today, fingers crossed, with a first impressions and unboxing of the Vivo X200 Pro. Until then,